Hi, my name is Doug. I'm the Floridian Santa. Today I want to share what always wound up being a funny experience that always brought in our Christmas every year. And I want to share a personal comical story as well. So get your hot cocoa, sit back, relax, and let's get right to it. I've always heard the phrase, and it's been out there for as long as I can remember, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And that, in my case, really is true. I want to start with a personal story of something very comical that took place. Now, I've shared how I am a head custodian at a high school where I live at, and my daughter lives with me, and I was headed home, and I always let her know when I'm on my way home, and I was headed home, and I always usually keep my phone in my pouch, my phone carrier, which is always on the side of my belt. But a lot of times also when I get in the car, I've got a mount and I'll put the phone there. Well, I got in the car and I was headed home, and I was about halfway to the house, and I was crossing a red light, and right before I reached and touched my pouch and realized my phone was not in there. So my first thought was, I have forgotten my phone. It's back at my office. It's on the desk. So I immediately pulled over to turn around. Now, in regards to this, I had already had a very, very mentally pressing day. So I was exhausted. I was mentally drained and wiped out when this took place. So I just want to give myself a little bit of an excuse that I can be a little airheadish at times, but not really this bad. But anyway, I pulled over and I turned around and started going back to school. And I thought, my daughter's going to get worried about me. And immediately and instinctively, without thinking what I was doing, I thought I better let her know. And I looked over and I grabbed my phone, which was on the mount in my vehicle, pulled it up, and started voicing the text to let her know I forgot my phone at work and I was turning around to go get it. And then I hit send. And as soon as I hit send, it hit me. You bozo, you're holding your phone and texting on it that you have supposedly forgotten at work. So I texted her back. I had the phone. I'm on my way. And so I put it back in the mount, and I just laughed at myself on the way home. Now, with the old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Growing up, my mom always wanted to have a fireplace. Now, in all of our houses, until the very last house we had, we never had a fireplace. She always wanted to have a fireplace, but we didn't. And she would make do at Christmas. She would buy. She bought one of those cardboard fake fireplaces, and she would put it out at Christmas time, because she wanted to have a fireplace for Christmas. Well, when we moved into our last house that we were in as a family before my sister moved out and I moved out, we had a fireplace in the den area where the TV was. And we knew it was Christmas because my mom would always want to have a fire in the fireplace going when it was Christmas, to bring in just that feeling of Christmas, that ambiance is what she wanted to enjoy. And so she would always have my dad build a fire in the fireplace. Now, he would get the wood, he would put it in the fireplace, and then he would turn on the gas starter that fireplace had. He would light it, it would light the wood, he'd turn the gas off, and the fire would get going. And before we realized it, the house started filling up with smoke, because almost every single time my dad would start the first fire of Christmas in the fireplace, he would always forget to open up the damper so the smoke would go up the chimney, and it always just started pouring into the house. And you knew what happened, because we could always hear my mom call out to my dad, "Open the door, you forgot the damper again." And that is a memory to me that always brought in Christmas. It was funny, it was chaotic, and it was completely, airheadish, accidental. So it brought up that memory with me doing what I did, texting my daughter that I forgot my phone and had already turned around and realized, "Oh, you bozo, you have your phone." So this apple doesn't fall far from the tree who would always forget to open the damper in our fireplace and have smoke pour out into the den where we would all watch TV together, and they would immediately have to open doors so that the air would come in and take the smoke out of the house. But that meant Christmas was here. That was kind of just like a stamp from my dad, accidentally. Yep, it's Christmas time, because he forgot to open up the damper of the fireplace. And that's just a fond memory that I have with Christmas time, when that taking place. And I wanted to share that with you, and I'm sure that you have probably got comical memories growing up of things that would happen, chaotic mistakes and stuff that always seemed to happen and would bring in the holidays for you as well. And that's just how life is. We just have to go with the flow. We are just human. We do the best we can, but we make mistakes and we do silly, goofy things like that, like my dad used to always do, and like I recently did with my phone. But I wanted to share that with you. I hope that has helped to brighten your day and share a little bit of my comical Christmas memories, and maybe even spark to where you start remembering comical memories that you have yourself. But I appreciate you joining me for this time, and I thank you for being with me as we continue this journey together, as I continue my journey becoming a professional Santa, and just enjoy sharing my Christmas experiences, holidays, and memories with you, and just try to brighten your day and help encourage you. Again, my name is Doug, the Floridian Santa, and don't forget, love never takes, but always gives. God bless.